Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. The Brand Video for you guys today, and welcome to my channel. Do all things algorithm likes, like video, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. You know how the routine works, and pleasing the algorithmic gods of YouTube. Today's video got another tier list video for you guys. I really enjoyed doing the Final Fantasy tier list. You can watch at the end of this video. It'll be attached at the end. I really enjoyed doing that tier list. So I was like, you know what? I want to do another tier list because I had fun talking about it, had fun doing it. And so what we're gonna do today is a Power Rangers tier list because there's a new Power Rangers Netflix special coming out pretty soon. I think next month. This is being recorded on the 29th of March, and the show comes out on the special comes out in April. So we're gonna do the tier list for Power Rangers. I will say I have not watched Power Rangers since I want to say either SPD or Dino Thunder. So a good portion of Power Rangers is about to get put into like an not watched tier list. But everything else we're going with the classics. We're going to talk the classics, grade them, say which ones are my favorite, which ones I enjoy, and things of that nature. So hope you all enjoy this video. Let's get into this. Let's talk about Power Rangers. All right, so here we have our little tier list. This is a premium tier list. They apparently they have Mighty Morphin separated in 3 seasons. We're not going to separate those in 3 seasons. We're going to just put all into the same category together. And since that's the first one up, we're going to go in the order across. Mighty Morphin. It's the OG 1992 back in the day. It's what made this series, this franchise, what it is today. Me personally is definitely you can't not have Mighty Morphin in your S tier. It might not have the best acting, but I always feel like if you're going with any kind of tier list of a franchise, you have to give the one who opened the door their flowers. And when it came to Mighty Morphin, it was so amazing. And even when to this day, those Rangers are viewed as like the peak. You got the Tommy as the White Ranger and Green Ranger. Jason. Most people love Jason. Some people prefer the other guy who came in during the Power Rangers movie, which is one of the best movies in my childhood is the Power Rangers movie. With the ninja outfits and all that stuff. Like, oh, that was such a good movie. I love that movie. Just overall, Mighty Morphin is just a classic. It's a classic. It's a great show. I can watch it right now and still love it. Power Rangers Zeo. Actually, I really love Zeo, but I'm not gonna put it in S tier. I want to put it in A tier because Zeo is basically another season of Mighty Morphin. It's mostly the same thing. The outfits look amazing. Zeo had some of the best Power Rangers outfits with suits in any Power Rangers show. In any Power Rangers, so they look amazing. But the way that the vibe of the show kind of just felt like another episode or another season of Mighty Morphin. You don't really start seeing Power Rangers start to change fully until Turbo. And much like Mighty Morphin, there's a Turbo movie, and that movie is amazing. Power Rangers Turbo to me is probably like the most underrated Power Rangers show. What we might recant that, but you don't really see people talk about Turbo. People talk about Power Rangers. They talk about basically Mighty Morphin, Zeo. They talk about space. They talk about Lost Galaxy. They talk about Wild Force. People love Wild Force. They talk about Dino Thunder. They talk about SPD. And then like the people who still watch the modern stuff, they talk about some of the new ones. But people don't really talk about Turbo. So I miss my hair a lot. Turbo is S tier. It's so good. It's so good. I'll tell you this right now, the early shows are all gonna be high tier stuff because to me the early shows are just so good. In Space was I really loved In Space. I was going to say In Space had the first black guy as the Ranger, because remember Red Ranger is viewed as like the leader. It was like the first time someone who looks like me can see someone who is the leader of the Power Rangers. But Turbo's actually that show because Turbo, Tommy ended up leaving and a black guy came in. But also, I think I'm wrong. I think the Turbo Red Ranger became the In Space Blue Ranger. I think Lost Galaxy might be the one I'm thinking of. It was one of the ones that were in space. It's been a while. I haven't watched Power Rangers at all in like 2 years. And I say 2 years because 2 years ago I rewatched all the shows. Well, not all of them. I rewatched the ones that I really liked. I got to like Time Force and I didn't really get into anything since then. I don't know. I could be like entirely wrong on the casted thing. Maybe he started off as Red. I don't remember. Anywho, regardless of my memory, we'll talk about In Space. One of the other things that In Space is like known for like I said, I'm confused about the black. I think Andros is the Red Ranger, so I think it would be Turbo Red Ranger turned into the Red Ranger here for Space. It doesn't like, by the way, I don't want people to think like I'm gonna knock Space down because of that. Space is still a great show. What I was going to say though was that one of the best things we saw in our childhood when it came to this show was that's when I think that's our first time getting the crossover with TMNT. So we had the Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers. Lovely. Lost Galaxy, again, another A-tier show. Lost Galaxy was great. I really enjoy Lost Galaxy across the board. Like all these shows, by the way, Mighty Morphin, Turbo, Zeo, Space, and Galaxy all had great like Rangers. Like all the Rangers were great. Like, you know, in terms of like the casting choices, you know, how they were written, how they were acted, the design of their outfits, things like that was all great. It didn't start going downhill kind of until Lightspeed Rescue. Well, Lightspeed Rescue, I'm gonna put it as a C tier. I just wasn't really feeling it. I feel like this is where like this was a drought series. Like honestly, nostalgia is the reason why I have it at C. It might even just be a D tier. I really like the Yellow Ranger. I think she was great. The Ranger, I wasn't really feeling the Red Ranger. Like not really at all. Time Force, I think Time Force is the most underrated Power TV show. Like I was saying before about Turbo, but Time Force, no one like when I say no one talks about Turbo, no one talks about Time Force. It kind of gets forgotten. Like it really does get forgotten, and I kind of want to put it as an A tier show because it is really good, but it's not as good as the other shows. It's underrated, but it's not as good as like these shows. And I really like enjoyed it. Like Wes definitely grew on me. He kind of had a slow start. Wild Force was like that. I don't want to say edgy, but it was like that new school Power Rangers. Like we got kind of used to like Space to Rescue. You know, those four. We kind of got used to like that futuristic, you know, kind of like thing. Time Force, they're time travelers. And you know, like the Rescue was kind of similar in being in more in the future than anything else. Whereas Wild Force just seemed very, like I said, edgy is the wrong word to use, but Wild Force just seemed different. It seemed like it was just something like more teen. Like you're like, yo, this is more older Power Rangers in terms of like everyone in the show's teens, air quotes on like their age in the shows, their teens, with the actors probably like all older than that. But like you as a viewer, you felt like this is like, okay, I'm getting too old Power Rangers, but this show feels like it's for someone my age. Wild Force is very good. It wasn't great. I think Wild Force is fair as a B. Ninja Storm was a C. Ninja Storm is it's like not great. It's not even like very good. It's not on Time Force and Wild Force level, but it's watchable. It's a good show that's watchable. And that's pretty much it when it comes to Ninja Storm. It's forgettable. Ninja Storm is definitely a very forgettable show, but it's not bad. Like you won't think, if you watch these shows, you won't be like, Ninja Storm was terrible. Like, you know, you'll be like, ah, it was good. I'll rewatch it. Things like that. Dino Thunder is about as close as you can get to an S tier without being an S tier. So we are gonna have these in order of like, you know, how good they are compared to each other. So Zeo is the top of the pyramid. I do want to put Dino Thunder above Lost Galaxy and In Space. It's a hard one for me because I do kind of want to. Yeah, we'll put In Space ahead of Dino Thunder. But it's so good. We got to see Jason David Frank, rest in peace, my dude. We got to see him come back. He was the Black Ranger in Dino Thunder. He's also basically the one in charge, teaching everyone how to be a ranger. That's my day emergency. Like, who the fuck are you kidding? Who the fuck are you kidding? Like, what might? It's SPD. SPD is probably the last one I actually watched in terms of like the newer ones. It's not even new, but it's the last one I watched, and SPD was so good. SPD was like, again, Ninja Storm wasn't bad, but like it's forgettable because of SPD. It's forgettable because of Dino Thunder. They're just so good. SPD was like so catchy. You got like the leader's a goddamn fucking wolf. a wolf dude who's also a Power Ranger at the same freaking time. SPD was fucking great. I loved SPD, and you know, all these shows have amazing theme songs, but SPD's theme song just stays in my head. I mean, Time Force, you know, Lost Galaxy. I'm getting like the nostalgic flash thing about the theme songs of these shows. Mystic Force, I did watch Mystic Force. I didn't watch it a lot. I think Mystic Force is where I lost interest. I don't want to say it was bad, but like I lost interest. I know we're going to put it in F tier because it's where I checked out. It's where mentally I was like, you know what, I'm kind of just done with Power Rangers. I'm out of it. This ain't it for me. And then the rest of these, like I haven't seen them, and I likely never will. And a part of it is just the names. I've seen some of the suits; they just don't look cool. And the name of the shows, I just don't really like. I feel like the name of the shows are just too freaking weird. Like Beast Morphers, that sounds shit like shit. You know? And then you got like some reused names, like, so right here we have Dino Thunder. Now you have Dino Fury. It's like they just stopped being creative. Sorry, I keep rubbing my eye. My hair keeps getting my eye. God, I can't wait for my hair to get long enough so I can put in a ponytail. Because when I'm recording, it has a habit of just being in my way. But yeah, all these shows are going to be in the not watch, which doesn't make them bad. I just haven't watched them. You know, because I haven't watched Power Rangers since Mystic Force. I mean, I fully watched. The last time I watched it fully was SPD, but I did start the first episode of Mystic Force and just wasn't feeling it. Like the rest of these, they don't connect me, and that's okay. I always say this: things don't have to be for you. It's okay to age out. I aged out of Power Rangers with Mystic Force. That's where I realized, like, all right, this isn't really, you know, my thing. I rewatch the shows every so often. And again, like I like 2 years ago, I restarted watching it. Last episode I watched was the Time Force. So we're gonna start Wild Force pretty soon. But like I can rewatch the older shows, but like the new shows just don't interest me. When I see like the trailers for like the new shows, when I see people post like images of like the characters and stuff, I'm not interested. But the old ones, you know, I'll rewatch them to the end of the freaking time. Power Rangers is a great show, and I think, you know, they're a lot of people's gateway into superheroes. You know, a lot of people don't read comics. And I feel like, you know, if you have kids who are screen kids and, you know, you're not going to get your kids reading comics, Power Rangers is a good way to get your kids into superheroes without having them read comics. The, you know, kids don't usually read a lot nowadays. So if you want to have them be in the comics, a good gateway into comics, good gateway into anime, into manga is Power Rangers. Because they'll see the tropes, they'll see how, you know, the formula is when it comes to, you know, a Saturday morning cartoon, or, you know, a Sunday morning cartoon, or, you know, whatever. They'll see it within Power Rangers. You know, as they get older and they move on from Power Ranger show to Power Ranger show to Power Ranger show, you know, they'll start to gravitate towards other things similar to the media, aka comic book heroes and things like that. So it's a good gateway. But anyways, the fifth tier list won't be as long as Final Fantasy 1, you know, because I didn't really have as much to talk about when it comes down to it. But this is my tier list. You know, that's pretty much it. Hope you all enjoy it. You know, if you want to make your own tier list, obviously you can go to the Tier List Maker, make your own tier list. But, you know, also you can just put what your top 5 is. What is your top 5 Power Rangers TV show in the comment section if you want. You know, you can do it wherever you want. And, you know, everyone's opinion is an opinion. And, you know, if you're respectful, I'll respect your opinion. But I'll be your boy Nubis. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Y'all stay safe, be kind to one another. I'm out of here. Deuces.